We've got some big breaking massive news coming in right now. Actually, I've just been woken up by that particular news. Listen to this. Bob Njagi and Nicholas Oyoo, who were abducted in Uganda more than 38 days ago, have been released. They have been exchanged at the border of Busia, and PS of Foreign Affairs, Korir, says that they are in Kenyan territory. They are alive and they are ready to be reunited to their families. Good news.
Majama, ini good news. Bob Njagi na Nicholas Oyoo finally wamekuwa released after 39 days in captivity. Mimi nako Bulan, lakini mimi niko sure ni mtu wa Museveni ndiye alikuwa around ama man. Lakini pia gava yetu pia wametufail. 39 days amwezi mkapiga mayoye ama man wachiliwe Bulanda.
Special Forces Command. We're going to release more details to you in a short while after we get some medical attention. We've not been eating for about 14 days myself. I've been fasting. It's been very difficult. But thank you so much for your solidarity. Viva Kenya, viva!
Viva! Were you tortured?
Kenya, viva!
Viva! Were you tortured?
Yes, we were tortured, but we're going to give you details.
Shame on you, Museveni! Shame on you! 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 We're coming for you!
But just if you were for 14 days, was it a fast or were you?
I was doing a fast, but at the same time, the kind of food you have been given is not really food. You have been dehumanized, if I say so.
What did they accuse you for?
Can we allow them to breathe a little bit?
And after 38 harrowing days in captivity, Kenyan activists Nicholas Oyoo and Bob Njagi are finally free. The two, who were abducted in Uganda on October 1st, have been released by Ugandan authorities in coordination with the Kenyan embassy and international humanitarian organizations. The release follows weeks of diplomatic pressure, with the Kenyan government, rights groups and even former President Uhuru Kenyatta intensifying calls for their freedom. As NTV's Ashley Atieno reports, the activists were handed over to the Busia border in the early hours of the morning, frail, shaken but alive, marking the end of a chilling ordeal that has gripped both nations and reignited calls for accountability over cross-border abductions.
Exhausted but alive, Bob Njagi and Nicholas Oyoo stepped back onto Kenyan soil shortly after 1 a.m. in the morning. 38 days after vanishing in Uganda, their return marks the end of an ordeal that tested both diplomacy and human endurance. The two were handed to Kenyan officials by Ugandan authorities in a transfer quietly coordinated through humanitarian agencies and embassy channels. At the border, Busia County Commissioner Chaunga Mochaunga led the reception, overseeing medical checks before clearing the activists for onward travel.
Ndugu zetu wawili tumeweza kuwapokea wakiwa katika hali ya afya ambayo imeweza kuthibitishwa na daktari kwamba si mbaya.
The release did not come easy. For weeks, Vocal Africa, Amnesty International, and a network of Kenyan and Ugandan advocates pressed for answers, amplifying the voices of families who feared the worst.
Tulikuwa tuna hofu sana, tena pia propaganda zilikuwa nyingi. Kwa kusema kweli kwa tunasikia kuna wenye wamepigwa, wamekufa, kupigwa wamepigwa lakini hawajakufa. Wako hapa, unaona wako hapa nyuma yetu. So tunashukuru Mungu kama familia.
Among those who pushed for action was former President Uhuru Kenyatta, whose intervention, alongside continued pressure from the Foreign Affairs Ministry, accelerated negotiations for their release. Foreign Affairs PS Korir has since confirmed the return, praising the cooperation between Nairobi and Kampala. Njagi and Oyoo disappeared on October 1st while attending Ugandan opposition leader Bobi Wine's campaign. Their disappearance triggered outrage and a legal standoff that saw a Ugandan court dismiss a habeas corpus petition seeking to compel security agents to produce them. After recording statements, the two were transported to Kisumu, where arrangements are underway to secure a flight back to Nairobi, marking the final leg of their journey home after more than a month in captivity.
Wanaonekana wako na afya, but they are traumatized, na pia kwa sababu ya kukaa kwa siku nyingi na walikuwa wameteseka kidogo, sasa hawawezi kuzungumza.
labda ni relative wa nani pengine?
Mimi ni relative wa Njagi, ni cousin sister.
Wakati alikuwa haonekani kwa muda mrefu, familia ilikuwa na hofu gani?
Tulikuwa tuna hofu sana, tena pia propaganda zilikuwa nyingi. Kusema kweli kwa tunasikia kuna wenye wamepigwa, wamepigwa lakini hawajakufa.
Tukawapeleka office ya migration, wakafanya processing, wakamaliza, alafu tukawapeleka pia hospitali wameweza kuangaliwa na madaktari wakisema kama hali yao ya afya nzuri na hawakupatikana hali yoyote. Sasa tumewarudisha watu hao katika familia yao, na ya baadhi ya jamii zao walikuwa wamefahamu kwamba wametolewa wakafika hapa. Kuna Karen ambaye tumemkabidhi familia hii, tumemkabidhi hawa ndugu wawili Bob pamoja na Oyoo ili waweze kwenda nyumbani wajumuike na wenzao nchini Kenya.
Activists Bob Njagi and Nicholas Oyoo, who have been missing, have been repatriated 38 days after they went missing. The two, who were allegedly being held captive in Uganda, were handed over to Busia police station at around 2 a.m. on Saturday morning, led by Kenya's High Commissioner to Uganda, Josh Njagi. Busia County Commissioner Chaunga has hailed the collaboration between the Ugandan and Kenyan government and campaigns to secure their release. The development comes following weeks of pressure from human rights groups and the Kenyan government on the Ugandan government to provide answers on the activists' whereabouts.
Hawa ndugu zetu wawili tumeweza kuwapokea wakiwa katika hali ya afya ambayo imeweza kuthibitishwa na daktari kwamba si mbaya. Tuliweza kuwapeleka hospitali baada ya kufanya clearance pale kwa immigration department, wakahudumiwa hospitali. Madaktari wakasema kama wamewa discharge na waweza kurudi nyumbani.
So kwa sasa pia tunawapeleka for further treatment na tumepatiwa wakiwa wanatembea. Mimi naweza sema wanatembea. Tulikuwa tuna hofu sana, tena pia propaganda zilikuwa nyingi. Kusema kweli kwa tunasikia kuna wenye wamepigwa, wamepigwa lakini hawajakufa. Wako hapa, unaona wako hapa nyuma yetu. So tunashukuru Mungu kama familia, maombi yamefanya kazi.
Prime Cabinet Secretary hapa. Kuna Wakenya ambao wameshikwa huko Uganda. Tukimaliza hii burial, tunaambia Mheshimiwa Mudavadi apigie Museveni simu.
We came here to Uganda. We have two brothers, Bob Njagi and Nicholas Oyoo. I don't know if they have already been found. They have been missing. Many officers in charge of that will not speak until what if it was their children? Do you remember there was one Mr. Muturi? He used to be one of the, I think, cabinet secretaries. A time where it came and his child was abducted. Do you remember? In Kenya? You remember the way he made noise, called the president, called what? Why can't you do the same for people, for other people? Bob Njagi has been missing. Nicholas Oyoo have been missing. Because people do not understand the EAC, East Africa Community. They have a right to enter any nation in East Africa. In case you are not aware, we don't need visa. They just go to see and be part of someone that they believe can become a good person for Uganda. They can no longer be traced. How many days? Over 20 days, I think. We no longer know. If it was a minister or a child of the president or a child of a minister or a member of parliament, would this be the same case? Would this be the same case? Would you not be shouting left, right, and center the way Mr. Muturi shouted until his son was released? Do you remember him saying he even called the president? Who will, the parents of these people, who will they call? They don't know the president number. They don't know the member of parliament number. They don't know. Who will they run to? If those two people have not been found, we appeal to the nation of Kenya and Uganda. You better produce those people. Forget about what they did, whether it was right or wrong. Let's not go to that. They are Kenyans and they belong to East Africa. No one within East Africa should be afraid to travel anywhere in East Africa. Unless they have committed an offense, then you arrest them. present them before a court of law. That's the way it's supposed to be. But in Tanzania, abductions. In Kenya, abductions. Everywhere, abductions. Everything is just about abductions. You have no good works. It's very sad. Those two people should be produced. Bob Njagi and Nicholas Oyoo. And it has nothing to do with whether they did something. The same way, if it was the minister's child, you would have even called the president. Do everything possible. Because these are Kenyans. Whether they are right or wrong, we will deal with that later, that issue later. Those two Kenyans that have not been found, I don't know if they have or not, they must be produced. We'll discuss their problems after they have been produced. And that is not a, see it afadhali, it's not like something we are requesting. They have their rights. If they have done something wrong, do the right thing. Abduction should never be part of our African culture. There is a rule of law. Follow the rule of law. And you'll have a great nation.
Mido nacheza mdhaminisi na kaona dai moshi tazivuta limit ya fuliza imeongezeka nkoma neza shika jag na kanudu sie nacheza kiroro neza vika soko turirime mdagi meditation naki shusha kibandaski cha podonde neza rada nama vuta izoma